Hey everyone, I'm Your Name, and welcome to a subject I think about, like all the time critical thinking in our crazy mixed-up digital world. We're absolutely drowning in information memes, news articles, real or not, who knows, targeted ads that somehow know we're craving tacos at 3 a.m. It's a lot. And look, it can be overwhelming. How do we sift through it all, figure out what's true, what's biased, what's trying to sell us something we didn't even know existed until 2 seconds ago? That's where critical thinking comes in, my friends. It's like the mental life vest we all need in this ocean of data. So today we're diving deep. We're going to define what critical thinking actually is, because it's more than just disagreeing with your uncle on Facebook. Why it's absolutely essential in this day and age. And, most importantly, how you can level up your own critical thinking skills to become a more discerning, informed, and, dare I say, awesome human being. Let's do this thing. So let's start with the basics. What is critical thinking, really? Is it just about being really critical of everything? Like becoming that person who always points out the plot holes in movies and ruins it for everyone? Not quite. Critical thinking is less about being negative and way more about being actively engaged with information. It's about not just accepting everything you see, hear, or read at face value. It's about asking questions, like a lot of questions. Questions like, where did this information come from? Who's saying it? Why are they saying it? And then taking it a step further, we're talking about evaluating evidence, considering different perspectives, even when they make us uncomfortable, and forming our own informed opinions. It's about recognizing biases both in ourselves and in the information we consume, because let's be real, we all have biases. We all see the world through our own individual lenses, shaped by our experiences, our upbringing, the memes we laughed at last week. And that's okay. The key is to be aware of those lenses, to acknowledge that they exist, and to try to see beyond them. Critical thinking is a journey, not a destination. It's something we have to practice, cultivate, and, let's be honest, sometimes fail at. Because look, we're all human. We're all going to fall for some clickbait headlines or get swayed by a persuasive argument once in a while, but that's okay. The important thing is to keep learning, keep questioning, and keep striving to be better, more critical thinkers. Because trust me, your brain will thank you for it. And who knows, you might even impress your uncle on Facebook. We live in a world where information flows faster than, well, pretty much everything. It's like drinking from a fire hose of data, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed, bombarded, and frankly, a little bit exhausted. Think about it. Every time you scroll through your social media feed, every time you do a Google search, you're inundated with a tidal wave of information. Some of it's accurate, some of it's misleading, and some of it's just plain weird, looking at you, cat videos that go viral for no apparent reason. This is where critical thinking becomes less of a nice-to-have and more of an essential life skill. It's the filter that helps us separate the signal from the noise, the truth from the hype, the facts from the... well, you get the idea. Without critical thinking, we risk becoming passive consumers of information, blindly accepting whatever we come across. And trust me, in this digital landscape, that's a recipe for disaster. We might end up believing things that aren't true, making decisions based on flawed logic, or worse, spreading misinformation like a digital virus. But with critical thinking, we become active participants in our own learning. We can navigate the information superhighway with a discerning eye, questioning what we encounter, evaluating its credibility, and forming our own well-founded conclusions. In a world where everyone has a platform and anyone can publish anything, critical thinking is no longer a luxury. It's our best defense against manipulation, misinformation, and the ever-increasing complexity of the digital age. It's the superpower we need to thrive in the 21st century and beyond. Chapter 3. Okay, so we've established that critical thinking is important, like really important, but how do we actually do it? How do we go from passively scrolling to actively engaging with the world around us? Well, fear not, my friends, because I've got 5 practical steps to help you level up your critical thinking game. Step 1, get curious, like really curious. Don't just accept information at face value. Question everything. Who wrote this article? What's their perspective? Why should I believe them? Ask yourself, what's the other side of this story? Who might disagree, and why? Step 2, hunt down the source. In the digital age, it's easier than ever to trace information back to its origin. So, do it. Check out websites, look for citations, follow those digital breadcrumbs. Is the source credible? Are there any red flags? Remember, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true. Step 3, embrace different perspectives. This can be tough, especially when we encounter viewpoints that challenge our own beliefs. But here's the thing. Exposing ourselves to different perspectives is crucial for developing well-rounded critical thinking skills. It helps us break out of our echo chambers and see the world through a wider lens. Step 4. Don't be afraid to question your own biases. We all have them. The key is to be aware of them and how they might be influencing our thinking. Are you more likely to believe information that confirms your existing beliefs? Are you quick to dismiss information that challenges your worldview? Recognizing our own biases is a key step in becoming more objective and critical thinkers. Step 5. Practice, practice, practice. Like any skill, critical thinking takes practice. The more you do it, the better you'll become at quickly identifying flaws in logic, evaluating evidence, and forming your own informed opinions. So, start small, question that headline, analyze that advertisement, have a respectful debate with your uncle on Facebook, maybe. Chapter 4. So far, we've talked a lot about the theory of critical thinking. Now let's get practical. Let's look at some real-world examples of how critical thinking plays out in our daily lives. Example 1. Social media. Imagine scrolling through your feed and seeing a post that makes you angry. Before you like, comment, or share, take a breath. Ask yourself, who posted this? What's their agenda? Is this information accurate? Could this be taken out of context? By taking a moment to critically evaluate the post, you can avoid spreading misinformation or getting into heated arguments with strangers online. Example 2. News articles. In the age of clickbait headlines and 24/7 news cycles, it's more important than ever to be critical consumers of news. Don't just read the headline, check the source. Is it a reputable news organization? Are there any factual errors or signs of bias? Consider reading multiple articles from different sources to get a more well-rounded perspective. Example 3. Shopping. Marketing and advertising are specifically designed to appeal to our emotions and persuade us to buy things. Critical thinking can help us see through the hype and make informed purchasing decisions. Next time you see an ad that promises amazing results, ask yourself, what's the evidence? Are there any hidden costs? Is this product really something I need, or am I being influenced by clever marketing? Example 4. Political discourse. Political discussions can be incredibly charged, but they're also an opportunity to practice critical thinking. When someone presents a political argument, don't just agree or disagree based on your existing beliefs. Ask questions. What evidence do they have to support their claims? Are they presenting a balanced perspective? Engaging in respectful, critical dialogue can lead to a deeper understanding of complex issues. These are just a few examples of how critical thinking can be applied in our daily lives. By making it a habit to question, evaluate, and analyze information, we can become more informed, discerning, and empowered individuals. Chapter 5. We've covered a lot of ground today, from defining critical thinking to exploring its importance in the digital age, and even equipping you with practical steps to sharpen your own critical thinking skills. But here's the thing about critical thinking. It's not a one-time download or a destination you reach. It's a lifelong journey, a continuous process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. The world around us is constantly changing, and the information landscape is evolving at an even faster pace. What's true today might be debunked tomorrow. What seems like a fact now might be revealed as misinformation later. That's why it's crucial to cultivate a mindset of curiosity, skepticism, the good kind, and a willingness to update our beliefs as new information emerges. Don't be afraid to question everything, even the things you hold dear. Don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong or to change your mind in the face of new evidence. Embrace the uncomfortable feeling of cognitive dissonance when your beliefs are challenged, because that's where real growth happens. Critical thinking isn't about being right all the time. It's about being willing to be wrong, to learn from our mistakes, and to constantly strive for a deeper, more nuanced understanding of the world around us. So, go forth, my friends, and think critically. Question everything, challenge assumptions, don't be afraid to be wrong, and above all, never stop learning. The future depends on it. Well, that was quite the deep dive into the world of critical thinking. I hope you found it helpful, insightful, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Remember, In this age of information overload, critical thinking is our superpower. It's the key to navigating the complexities of the digital world, making informed decisions and becoming more engaged and empowered citizens. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, especially that uncle on Facebook, and subscribe to my channel for more insightful content. And most importantly, keep those critical thinking caps on, because the world needs more thoughtful, discerning minds like yours. Until next time, stay curious.